Hello everyone. Today I Karan Thakur welcome you all to the DoK Explorers Day 2023. Today I will be talking about one of the topics that fascinates me a lot, that is Kubernetes operators. Before starting out, a quick introduction about me. I am a second year undergrad pursuing my bachelor's in computer application. I am a tech savvy guy who loves to learn and work with new and exciting technologies. I love to contribute and add value to projects. I am a student, a learner, and an explorer. Before starting with operators, let's do a quick recap about Kubernetes. Kubernetes is an open source software to deploy, scale, and manage containerized applications anywhere. Kubernetes is great, but with the power that Kubernetes provides comes a lot of complexity. So, what was the problem that operators are created to resolve? Well, Kubernetes can manage and scale stateless applications such as web apps, mobile backends, and API servers without requiring any additional knowledge about how these applications work. The built-in features of Kubernetes are designed to easily handle these tasks. However, stateful applications like databases and monitoring systems requires additional domain-specific knowledge that Kubernetes doesn't have. It needs this knowledge in order to scale, upgrade, and reconfigure these applications. To resolve this issue, in 2016, CoreOS announced operators. To simply put, operators are software extension that uses custom resources to manage applications and their components. Operators encode this specific domain knowledge into Kubernetes extensions so that it can manage and automate an application's lifecycle. Let's discuss some of the features that makes operators important. First, operators extend Kubernetes functionalities. Operators is a way of building an application and driving an application on the top of Kubernetes behind Kubernetes API. Operators extend Kubernetes functionalities, especially to stateful apps, in a far more manageable and accessible fashion than before. For application developers, operators makes it easier to deploy and run the foundation services on which their apps depend on. Kubernetes operators take all of the knowledge about an application's lifecycle that a DevOps team is practices manually and systemize it so that everything that can be automated is handled elegantly. Operators also help us to implement the selling point of Kubernetes, that is automation. Operators can also simplify how you run Kubernetes applications, removing the complexity of managing the nuts and bolts of Kubernetes and allowing you to do in a repeatable manner. So now you might be wondering how Operator works. Operators connects to the Kubernetes API and watch for relevant events. They act as a custom Kubernetes controllers, introducing their own object types in the cluster that constantly compare the desired state with the actual state. The desired state is declared in a YAML file and is spread by the user creating Kubernetes objects as a custom resource definition (CRD). The operators run through its loop whenever such an object appears, updated or deleted. Nowadays operators are used to perform various functions and have many purposes. To name a few, operators are used for implementing both day one and day two tasks. Operators mimics how an human operator would manage a service. It helps us to deploy applications on demand. It watches the applications and logs the error if they found any. It performs backups and restoration, and operators are most useful when it comes to hybrid environment management. Now let's go now let's go through some of the statistics from DoK report. Well, according to DoK report 2022, Kubernetes is a cornerstone for DoK. Most organizations, 66%, use at least 20 of operators. The interesting thing is that the organization expect operators to perform at a very high level. They expect the organization expect the operators to handle all the day to operations. They expect to perform this at a very high level using the operator framework as a grading scale. They found out that 36% of organizations expect operators to properly handle all data operations such as application and storage lifecycle, backup and recovery failure. More than 40% expect advanced capabilities such as ability to provide matrices, alerts, log processing, and workload analysis. Right now, you can find at least 278 operators on Operator Hub. To name a few, there is Istio operator, Kubeflow operator, Cassandra operator, Prometheus operator, each designed to perform a certain task and function. With a plethora of operators available in the market, you can easily find one to perform a certain task. But what if you couldn't find the one that you are looking for? Then don't worry. You can also design and create your operator with the help of Operator SDK. So the major takeaways from this presentation is that operators are awesome. Yes, they are. Operators helps us to manage stateful application. It reduces the complexity, and industry prefers to use operators. Do you want to know more? Are you curious? Or do you want to know more about any of the jargons or terminologies used in this presentation? And you are doubtful on where to find the resources? Then don't worry. Hop onto the DoK Slack channel, Slack community. There is an inclusive and engaging community waiting for you. And do join the operators channel to ask your doubts there. Thank you for sticking up with me. Hope to see you in the community. Thank you.